Speed it up, now slow that shit down. On the gas, slow it down, bust it.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Sapphire Unfiltered. I don't know why I love singing that part, but y'all gonna take it like that, you know what I'm saying? So guys, today, I'm gonna give it to you hot. Do I always bring it hot? So guys, the hot topic we're gonna be addressing today is take your own advice. As you all know, there's always that one person in our life, or there's always those set of people in our life that they can give the best advice in this world. Any problem that you go to them for it, they always have something to say. They always have a solution. If you're like, oh, I feel depressed because like people are like making it and I've not made it and everything, they're like, oh yeah, God's time is the best, this and this and this, we're going through any problem, they have all the solution. But it's like, when it's them in the situation, do they take their own advice? When it's them going through the same thing, they react the way you were reacting, do they take a page in their own book? Some of you need to honestly follow your own advice. You're so quick to solve other people's problem, or to feel like you can solve other people's problem. But when your own problem comes, how do you handle it? Do you remember the advice that you gave other people when they were in the same situation, or when they were in a similar situation? So what happened recently was, I was going through something and I told this particular person, and then he had all this beautiful advice for me, and then it's like, you have to just be patient and wait for God's time, you have to be positive, yada 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 yada. When it was his turn, in a really similar situation, like so similar, not even as bad as mine, this guy was going off. He just kept going on. I'm like, wait, didn't you tell me to be positive? Didn't you tell me to wait for God's time? Didn't you tell me everything is gonna be fine and not to rush and blah 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 blah? But now you're in the same situation and you're like freaking out and you're saying, oh, you don't understand. My G, I understand. It's just so hard for you to take your own advice when it's you in that situation, when it's you in the shoes, when you're the one turning on your own, when you're the one confused, sad, depressed, going through whatever it is. You don't want to take a page in your book. Does it mean your advice is good or your advice is bad? Does it mean that you don't even believe in what you tell other people? Most of the time, those advice that people give you, they might not work for you. That's why I don't really say I give people advice, because I don't want to advise you. Because if I advise you and you follow my advice and it doesn't work out for you, you blame me. I don't want you to blame me. I don't want to be like, oh yeah, let me give you advice and take my advice. Do not take my advice. Listen to it. What you do with it, that's all on you. But you can't advise me and tell me, oh yeah, be positive, God's time, yada 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 yada, and it's your turn and you're like, you can't understand, I'm so hurt, I'm so mad. Nigga. Some people have PhD in other people's business. They have PhD in helping other people solve their own problems. But when it comes to their own problems, their own personal problems, it's as if they need tutoring. It's as if they know nothing. Some people, when it comes to advice, or when it comes to solving things, they're like, oh yeah, do this, do that, and then it's so easy for them to say. But when it comes to their own problem, I'm like, it's as if they have amnesia. When you have amnesia and you cannot remember anything again, and it's like all their advices has gone out of their head. I understand that sometimes you might be in a situation that you feel like you have no control over and you don't know what to do, and surprisingly you've helped someone out of the same situation before, and the person should also help you out of the situation. But for me personally, I feel like if you tell me something and I tell you what to do, or I advise you, and that's what you take my advice, I advise you on what to do, and you do it, and it works for you, and you tell me it works for you, I'm not gonna forget it. If I'm ever in that situation, I'm gonna remember that, okay, this is what this person did, and I think I should try it. What works for Peter may not work for Paul. It's like this common saying, it's easier said than done. Before we tell people to do something, put yourself in their shoes. Imagine you're in the situation. Imagine what you would do in that situation. Don't just judge by what they tell you, because when people tell you something and you listen, it's easy to say, oh, I think the best thing to do is this. If it was me, truly, what shall I do? What will I do? We that we are listening to their advice, right? Think about it. Even me that I'm telling you all this, me, it's like, when I'm in the situation, am I gonna do the same thing? I feel like I can say this because I've been in this situation where people told me stuff, where people advised me to do something, and I thought about it like, do I really want to do this, or do I not want to do this? Is it good advice or bad advice? I had a friend that straight up gave me a bad advice once. I knew in my mind of minds, I knew that, yo, what this girl is telling me is complete BS. And luckily for me and unluckily for her, she got in the same situation like 2 months later. And then she was like, oh, Dami, I'm going through this and that and that and that and that. I'm like, oh, well, how about you do this and this and this? The same thing she told me, I went to copy and paste. I sent it to her. I'm like, why don't you also do this? Because this was the advice she gave me when I was in this situation. And she was like, oh, she couldn't even do it because she was in my shoes at that time, and she saw how hard it was to do it. So guys, when people tell you to do something, think about it before you do. Use your own medulla oblongata. Use your own common sense to, process it and think it. Don't just do go and go like that. No, that's not how life is. No, you have to think for your own self, process it for your own self, and think about, like, is it good for me or is it not good for me? It might be good for the other person, but it might not be good for you, my darling. So that's all I have for you guys today. Yes, a new video is gonna come up next week. No, I'm gonna do what I always do. I hope I entertained you today, and I hope you learned something today.